Welcome to the 2017 Powtoon tutorial. So to get there, it's www.powtoon.com, and this is the opening homepage. So to log in, you just click Login, and then it's nice because everything's connected with Google. You just click Login with Google, and then you can log in with your Google account. So then choose what you'd like. I'm school right here, but you can choose whatever you want. And then we have three options here. So start from scratch, build from a story screen, customize a popular template, and then your other Powtoons are down below. So after you create one, you can just click on edit and it goes back in and edits it. So I'm going to start from scratch. And we'll close that. And it takes a few seconds to load, and then you'll be able to actually start editing your Powtoon. So Powtoon is basically a PowerPoint that allows you to do so much more with like animation and makes it into a little like movie. So it's a nice different type of tool for presenting stuff. Alright, so here is your main screen. So off to the left here you have your movie and you have your slideshow option. The only difference between that is the movie you'll run all the way through slide 1, all the way through slide 2, all the way to the end without stopping. For a slideshow, slide 1 runs all the way through just like a movie, and then it stops, and then you can talk about it, and then you press next, and then slide 2 will run all the way through, and then it stops, and so on. So that's the difference between the slideshow and movie. To add another slide, you just click Add Slide, and then right here in between, this is where you're going to add some transition. So there's lots of different transition options here. And then you can change it per slide. Alright, so right now, I'm going to click on this one, and notice that this timeline is off. These are the two objects on here. I'm going to click on the timeline because that gives you a little bit more customization. And once you have the timeline switched on, you can see that this grid, if you need a grid, you can turn that on and off. Here's the background color picker if you need some background colors. And then, let's see what else we got here. So a couple other different options if you don't like those 4 colors. And then the timeline down below, right now this is 10 seconds. If you want to add a second, you just click this plus. If you want to subtract a second, you just click minus. And then you can see that this object right here, this plain text, which is this right up here, starts at 0 seconds and ends at 10 seconds. So if I would want it to leave the screen, so maybe like start at half a second, you can see it sort of like comes in and then leaves at 6 seconds, goes out. So here's the transition in for that object, and here's the transition out for that object, and the T just represents text. So for this one, we have this little arrow here, and there's a couple different options. You can swap it out for something else, maybe put her in there. I don't know why it's so, we'll zoom out a little bit. Just too big. So maybe we'll put her there, and I'll rotate her a little bit, and you can see animation, what she's doing. Some of these have animations like waving or something else. Play in a loop, play 4 times. So this just happens to be some type of wave, but you can happy, idea, sad, typing, thinking. Oh, let's get out of that. This is also a flip if you need to flip it, and then move her from A to B if you need some type of move. And now you have this object right here. You can see that she appears at 1 second and leaves at 10 seconds, so she's going to move from point A to point B over this 9-second. See that right here. Alright. So that takes care of the timeline. You can go up to 20 seconds. The only other thing is sound on and off, if you need sound on and off, and then here is background sound. So if you wanted background sound. So there's lots of different options here. You can do voiceover. You can do a music track. You can import something. And then you click apply. So we'll cancel that. And we'll move on. So right now, let's save it. So my Powtoon. I'm going to click on save. And that saves your Powtoon. This edit, you can copy and paste. And then this is also the undo. The preview, it shows you what it looks like. So I can click preview. And this is what it'll look like. So you can export it. And this will be slide 2, slide 3, which has nothing on it right now. So I'm going to continue editing to go back to that. This is the export at the end. And then the only other thing, right now this is the cartoon look. You can do different looks. So we'll use this look. So whiteboard look. Some of these are pro, so this is not free. These two are free. So they are adding a lot of different things, but they start to become expensive, or you have to start buying it if you want to start using some of the more advanced features. Alright, so I'll start with layout. So layout here, click that again. Here's your intro, more specific. So if I click on one, this is a layout for this specific slide. And it puts lots of different things. So your Powtoon contains premium locked characters and props if you want to share. So we'll remove all premium objects, and now see how we lost quite a bit there. But the general idea is there. So that's layouts. Again, lots of other things down here. So it gives you what it could look like and gives you a good starting point. So backgrounds next. If you don't want to use this color picker, then you can upload your own picture for the background. You can do locations, maybe like an office location. Here, this is, you can see it better on here. So here's an office location, put stuff on there, maybe this desk, and so on. Next is text. So we can put some text on there. You just drag these objects in, and now you have some text. Make it a little bit smaller. You can put something in there. So on. And some other things down here. Characters. So I will add this guy here. And maybe we'll spin him around. And maybe we'll give him, he's meditating. Meditating on that in the back there. And that's characters, lots of different characters. Objects, you click on objects, there's that shape that you saw on the first screen. Maybe when it's a computer. There's two computers. There's specials. Maybe, oh, you can put a face in there. Here's, I don't know why you would want this in the scene, but you can put that in there. Halloween. There we go. There's some graphs if you want to display data. There's some different graphs. And then sound. You can do a sound track, you can do voiceover track, you can do voiceover per slide. So voiceover per slide is a nice feature they added a year or two ago. And then you can do some recording per slide. So next is images. Here we have images, and you can add these different images. You can do an image search if you wanted to add something, or they have some stuff here as well. So once you're done with putting all your stuff in, changing it, adding stuff, adding text, adding graphics, adding little animations, then you can click this export. But if you want to preview it, this red bar, you can drag this across, or the red triangle. So drag it where you want in the slide, and then you can see what objects appear, what objects don't. So everything was appearing at the very end. This is a play and continue. So this is play and continue to the next slide. This is play just the current slide and play from where you start. So nothing really appears until I think about 8 seconds. So then everything appears, something like that, 8 or 9 seconds. Yep, there it is. All right, so once you're done, you would click on Export, and you'd be able to publish to My Powtoons. You can upload to some of these things. You can download it as a PDF or a PowerPoint, but obviously you'll lose some of the animation stuff. And you can also share with Google, LinkedIn, embed it. So I'm just going to publish to My Powtoons, and you select some type of category. We can do My Powtoon. You can add a description if you want. I'll click like Next. Pro and Business, if you click these two, but Standard, just 480p, which is totally fine. If you want to get rid of the watermark, you have to pay for it. If you want the watermark in the lower, I think it's the lower left or lower right hand corner, then it has to be there if you want the free version. So I'll click Export My Powtoon, and then My Powtoon is going to show up, and I can grab the link to it and then send that in an email to somebody. So right here is this link. So I'll grab the link, and it will come up, and then I can copy and paste that link and put it in an email for somebody. So that's a basic overview of Powtoon. I hope this helps.